filled with such fear.
Only to see a male figure leering over him.
Hello everybody, welcome to our second episode of Unfiltered Fridays.
2 episodes in and I'm enjoying it.
Buzzing.
You enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Good. Okay, so this episode is, last time John did all the research.
I did all the research, yeah, took some notes.
Yeah, this time I'm on it. I was on it, wasn't I? And today we're going to be reacting to your ghost stories. So I was on my Instagram and I said, guys, send me some spooky stories, send me your ghost stories, your encounters, that kind of stuff, and let us know, let me know if I can use your voice, etc. So we have voice notes, we have some read. Don't think anyone sent in a video, which is fine, but yeah, so we're gonna be listening to and reacting to my followers and friends' scary stories.
I'm looking forward to this.
And me.
There's nothing I like more than listening to other people's experiences.
Same.
I love talking about it, and then it comes to going to sleep and I'm like, can't sleep.
Yeah, literally. Then I get Mills.
But I don't know if this happens to everyone else. Whenever I talk about stuff like this late at night, I'm the only one who can't sleep.
Yeah.
Everyone else is asleep and I'm sat on my own, like, looking out at every corner.
Oh, it's fine. But ooh, don't drink over. Yeah, so that is the sitch. So that is what we're doing today. Talk a little bit of backstory from us first. I think I am a very ghosty spiritual being. I see ghosts, and I know people don't believe it, that's absolutely fine. But if you were in my body and my eyes,
you believe it.
You believe it. I've been tested for schizophrenia before anyone starts with that as well, and I don't have it, okay?
Jesus Christ.
Wow, that's what people always go with. They're like, are you sure you're not just hallucinating? No, I'm not, okay? My dad's the same. My sister's the same. My mum-ish. Not, my mum feels things more than she sees things. Yeah, so that's kind of the vibe from me. My dad, if you ever met my dad, is very black and white.
Yeah.
Not expect the man to believe it. Like, my dad will be like, yeah, you've got a broken leg, but let's go for a walk. Do you know, that's like kind of the style he is. So yeah, you wouldn't think he believed in it, but he does.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of skeptics.
Yeah,
which
that's
is fine.
Everybody, not everybody wants to believe.
But all I
that's
say
fine.
is just
keep an open mind.
yeah, be open-minded about it.
Yeah, don't be a dick. You believe?
I believe. I've never seen a ghost.
No.
I've seen
Things happen.
paranormal things that I can't explain. But yeah.
Yeah. So let's just jump straight in. Some of them are voice notes, like I said. Some people want to be kept anonymous, some don't, and that's fine.
Do you know?
So I'm going to start with my friend Brooke. She's Whispering Woman on Instagram. She's incredible. If you want good book recommendations, go to Brooke. But she has sent in some voice notes. We haven't listened to them. I haven't listened to them.
Nope.
John hasn't listened to them.
I didn't even know you had them sent through yet.
This is like initial reaction. Let's go. This is Brooke.
Okay, let me set the scene. So the first story, when I was little, we moved into this house. We had, I was probably only, a toddler. I was just learning to walk. My parents had a bedroom down the corridor from me. And my mum tells me the story of her hearing noises in the night that sounded like me walking down the corridor to climb into their bed with them, and then she would look out into the corridor and I was fast asleep. So she would hear things like that. Our CD player would start playing music, literally even if like the lid was up, like it wasn't even closed, like it would start, like it would have closed itself and start playing music. She would hear noises on baby monitors that sounded like me crying, and then she'd go in and she would...
No.
That's one thing John cannot do, is baby monitors.
That's rank.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use rank a lot to describe like scary, disgusting stuff, but that... The thought of hearing that or seeing someone on like a baby camera monitor...
Yeah. when we stayed at my brother's house,
That's horrible.
my brother has he had two small children at the time, didn't he? My nephews.
By that you mean they've grown up a bit now?
Yeah, they've grown up a bit now, but at the time they were little, they were very small. Like there's 9 months between them, about a year between them. And so they had like 2 baby monitors and 2 like cameras.
We were looking after the dog.
Yeah, they were away with the
children weren't there.
No.
But they was the monitors were still like rolling.
Yeah, they were still on, and John was just like, we need to like face them the other way.
Yeah.
I can't. So yeah, let's carry on.
She wouldn't hear me crying. You know, things like that, like really creepy. And it all only started when I was like a baby. She would hear these weird footsteps. But yeah, they'd never had that before, only when I was born. As I got older, I was a dancer and I used to swim a lot, and so I'd be really active. And I basically started to develop these really, really bad clicks in my joints. Like all of my joints would click really, really badly, specifically my ankles. So I went to this, I tried loads of different things. I tried physiotherapy, I tried medication, I tried like cod liver oil. Eventually I went to this hypnotherapist person, and she would do like energetic healing. I don't really know how much you know about it, but basically the idea was that she could transfer energy in and out of my body to help heal me. I was willing to try anything at this point.
You've had that, haven't you? That's what you did at the thingy. That's
Very
energetic.
briefly.
Yeah, it was good.
I don't know if it was. I like to keep open mind about these things. Just very quickly to not interrupt this story. Don't know how much to believe it. Don't know if it was a mind over matter, like not mind over matter.
I think it really works.
I don't know if it was just like what do you call it? Placebo.
Placebo.
Is it placebo?
Placebo effect, yeah.
But my back felt a lot better after.
Yeah. And you've been moaning about your back for months.
It was bad that day, wasn't it?
It was so bad. Like, he was walking like this, and then she did this energetic healing, and I think it works. Personally, I believe in all that sort of stuff, so I do think it works. And John, you literally were like, oh my god.
Yeah, my back felt amazing.
Yeah.
And she told me that my energy was really strong, and that would make me really susceptible to being able to communicate with spirits and things like that. And she said to me, like, you know, I could really see your energy attracting ghosties.
That's
what they said about me, wasn't it?
As I've grown up, I've had so many crazy ghosty experiences. In my house at home, which is a really super old building, I've sort of felt things. There's been lights turning on and off. There's also been strange noises. I've definitely felt like presences in the house. My mum noticed once I was going back and forth from uni that these kind of occurrences wouldn't happen when I was at university. They wouldn't notice these things. And then I went back home for lockdown, and during the night her and my dad heard something that sounded like something really heavy falling from the ceiling. She also they both woke up and checked, and nothing had broken, nothing had fallen from the ceiling. She also used to get strange feelings when I was in the house with these sort of ghosty energies, and yet when I left there was absolutely nothing. They would have no weird experiences at all.
Oh,
that is dodgy.
Brooks a channel.
Bringing the bloody spirits to the house.
My papa tells this amazing story of him when he was younger on a pier fishing late in the evening, and it was getting dark, and him sort of hearing someone approaching behind him, walking past, and someone saying good evening, and him really sensing a person there and turning around and there being no one there at all, and him speaking to some locals who fished there and them saying that there was this ghost that sort of walked up and down the pier, and that loads of people have reported really similar experiences. So I think it's definitely something that runs in the family.
100%.
I have also had quite a lot of weird spiritual experiences with people who've passed away around me. My grandmother passed away a couple of years back when I was about maybe 14 or 15, and I remember not long afterwards going into my head teacher's office to find out if I'd been given the role of head girl, and I was super nervous that day, and I remember going into the room and being hit by the smell of my gran, and it was a really intense smell, and it's really specific to her. She had this one perfume she always wore. She was also a chain smoker, basically, so the smell of smoke, this perfume, the smell of her laundry detergent, it really hit me really pungently, and then I could feel sort of her presence behind me, and it was a really strange experience, but I could not lie to you about it. It was just the most intense feeling of her presence being there with me.
Did you get head girl, bro? That's what I want to know.
So yeah, I feel like that's the crazy stories. There probably is more stories, but I think more than anything, I just feel like I walk through life and I feel these ghosty energies, especially when I go into old buildings, churches, things like that. I definitely have this like feeling of presences, and like my senses go a little bit crazy, which is kind of funky. And I know a lot of people are disbelievers, and I'm not fully a believer in all of these things, but I definitely have had my own personal experiences which make me open-minded to the idea that there are ghosts and there are spirits, and I would absolutely love to go to somebody who is kind of proven somewhat to be able to speak to spirits, because I think that would just be a super interesting experience.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Very ghosty, Brooke. I'm just going to message her back quickly.
A lot of those occurrences are related back to spirits being around, like electricity faults and all that.
Yeah.
That's mad. And obviously, if she was nervous at the time about the whole head girl thing,
that's
they
like
say your spirits are
comfort.
Yeah, your family come around you and all that.
Yeah.
I smell cigar smoke sometimes.
Is your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have had, like, I am a firm believer in ghosts. But I'm also a firm believer in coincidences.
Yeah.
And some things just are not coincidental.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you must believe, but if you had experienced the things that collectively as a couple we've experienced, but also individually what I've experienced, you would see it from a very different point of view, I think, because...
I think the problem with people who are skeptics, they haven't experienced anything.
Yeah.
So fair enough to them. It's easy enough to be like, no.
Yeah, and that's fine.
But I just wanted to say quickly, with all these people's stories, hopefully no one's going to be a dick in the comments.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Respect their, like, what they've experienced. Don't try and, like, obviously have an opinion, but don't try and put a downer on it or say, that's just, you're lying, because it's not nice.
But yeah, I love that. Brooke's a little ghosty. Yeah, I think a lot of ghost stories, I think people, because they are called stories, people are like, well, yeah, it's fake. And it's like, well...
These are experiences rather than stories.
Facts, yeah. Okay, so this next one is Fee. She's Fifi and the Kiddos. She said I can use her voice, so we're good with that. Yeah, Fifi and the Kiddos on Instagram. I've known Fee since I came out of the womb.
Fair.
So, very long time. So we're going to listen to Fiona.
Okay. You ready for this? This is a good one. Okay. This is one of the times that I have felt something. I haven't seen anything. Okay. So we were staying in an old refectory, something, where monks used to live, right?
Creepy.
And it's now been converted into a B&B. And when we went in there, I noticed that the window was one of them, like, that you had to, like, push open, like a push up to open.
Oh, like the slides.
But, that was just, like, it was just an old style building, yeah? There's nothing that was, like, weird about that. Anyway, that night, we stayed there the first night. That night, I woke up in the middle of the night and was like, oh, like, I don't know, like, startled awake. Then I went back to sleep, no problem. Second night came, I did exactly the same thing. And I was like, oh, fuck it, like, what is going on? I keep waking up, like, for nothing. Anyway, went back to sleep. Third night came, and I woke up to hear, like screaming, but like a wail, like a woman wailing outside. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
I went to laugh then, because I thought she meant like a whale noise.
What, like an actual
like,
whale?
No, that's creepy.
That's like a banshee. Have you ever heard of a wailing banshee?
Yeah.
Yeah. They apparently, I may be wrong, I'm not going to Google it, can't bother. Apparently a wailing banshee appears at funerals and starts going "Ah!" in the background, but
Mad.
yeah.
And it was getting louder and louder and louder. And I was still in my bed because I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And as it got louder, it got closer. And it didn't feel like it was outside anymore. It felt like it was in the room. And the room went so cold, like freezing cold.
My bum hole's twitching.
And I looked at, like, I was staying with my parents. This was back when I was a teenager. I was staying with my parents. And they were in like a double bed next to mine. And I looked over to them and they were fast asleep. And my dad is a light sleeper. If there's any kind of sound in his room, he wakes up. So I was like, why the fuck aren't they awake? Am I the only one that can hear this? And then I felt like a weight on me. And I could hear the screaming, like it was in the room. It was like hurting my ears. It was so loud. And I was so shit scared that I was just like frozen to the spot, like I could not move. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up in the morning. And I told my parents about it straight away. I was like, oh my God, this happened, blah, blah, you know. And they were like, oh yeah, yeah, it's fine. You were just dreaming. Anyway.
Sue and Dave did not believe me.
We told the woman that worked there or owned it or whatever, the B&B. And she was like, oh yeah, that's the wailing woman. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, loads of people have heard her. I was like, what? Sorry, the significance of the window, right, is when I woke up and I could hear the screaming, I looked at the window and the window was shut. And none of us had opened the window, right? But obviously, it sounded like
The window was
so
open.
loud that, you know, like the window had to have been open to hear it. Do you know what I mean? Like if someone was stood outside. That's the importance of the window thing. That's why I told you about the window at the beginning.
Again, that is rank.
That's gross.
I love how the person who worked there was like, oh yeah, it's just that.
Just the wailing woman.
That woman, you know, she just screams outside every now and again. Don't worry. The woman that's not there, who just screams. It's all good. Like,
I can't with that.
that's horrible, isn't
That's like, yeah. Because it's a wail.
it? Yeah, like the noise of a woman, like,
Wailing.
yeah.
But I wonder what like the origin of that story is. Because like you always you with a ghost there's always a backstory.
Yeah.
If that makes
so
sense.
it must have happened, and yeah.
Like she's crying for something. And that almost makes it, I've just got goosebumps. That almost makes it like sadder.
I know what a lot of skeptics will say straight away.
What?
Fox.
Yeah.
That sounds like a screaming woman.
Yeah.
But
for it to be in the room.
Yeah, to get and
with a fox, it's like you hear it further away.
Yeah. And for the owner to sort of be like,
oh yeah, it's fine.
oh yeah, it's just the woman.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Okay, next one is a girl I went to school with. And I'm going to distort her voice because she said she's got a cold, so she sounds really weird. So her voice will be distorted when you hear this.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Clever, aren't you?
I know, mate. Yeah, so...
So, first of all, please ignore the music in the background. Finley, for some reason, is listening to Christmas songs. I've got a change channel, and he's obviously being noisy as well. But the story happened when I was... This story in particular happened when I was about 4 or 5 years old. Now, my dad has lived in the exact same house. He's still there to this day, but he's lived there since I believe I was about 2. So it's been about just over 20 years now, or maybe just under 20 years. But he has always said that he's always felt 3 different presences, like, in the house with him. One of which is his mum, because she passed away when he was in his, like, mid-20s. Another is his uncle, who he said that he has seen, like, lingering in his room before. And the third is the little girl, because he said that he could hear her footsteps, as well as, like, giggling in the week when I wasn't there.
That doesn't sit well. Yeah, John does not like children ghosts. That does not sit well with you, does it? Child ghosts.
No.
So, one day, my dad was out in the garden. I was upstairs playing in my room, and my older brother was out, I think, with friends, or he was downstairs at the time, I can't quite remember. And then I was about to go downstairs to ask my dad a question, and I all of a sudden felt like a little bit of a jerk behind me. So I held on to the 2 walls that were on either side of the staircase, and I was...
Wait, someone tried to push you down the stairs?
Holding on, like, gripping it. And I think there's actually marks from where, like, my nails were scratching on it. Still to this day, weirdly enough, all my stomach was painted over them. But, yeah, I kept on feeling like jerking over and over again. And I just thought it was my brother prattling around. So I was like, Connor, pack it in, like, you're really hurting me now. Obviously, it kept on happening. And then, all of a sudden, I got this massive whack to the back, and I went flying down the stairs.
What?
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
Now, my dad's staircase, it was, like, straight, and then a couple of steps before the bottom, it, like, turns to the right. And the banister's really, like, hard as well. I always used to, like, smack my toe or smack my shin against it growing up.
What?
That's what your stairs are like. That's what your stairs are like.
But I smacked my head against it this time, and so I was, like, screaming out in pain.
My face has just gone funny.
Don't.
My face has just gone really weird.
Just carry on.
My dad, he heard, like, a massive thump as obviously I was falling down the stairs because he was only in the garden. So he ran through the...
I love how Finley's providing sound effects for me.
Problem is now, like, these are going to be running through my head all day.
Running through your head.
Doors in the living room, and obviously saw me lying in, like, a ball at the bottom of the stairs. I'd also smacked my elbow, I think, on the radiator. And he was like, what's the matter, trying to check on me. And I was like, Dad, that really hurt. You have to tell Connor off because he's just pushed me down the stairs. And he was looking at me really, really confused. And he was going, Amber, I have absolutely no idea what you're going on about because your brother isn't here. So I was saying to him, no, Dad, seriously, Connor pushed me down the stairs. That really, really hurt. And now my head hurts and my arm and everything was kind of hurting by this point. And so my dad picked me up, walked me around the house. I was like, Amber, look, seriously, your brother wasn't anywhere near you. Like, I can't remember if obviously he was out or he was with my dad or whatever. But my dad showed me around the house to obviously prove that my brother was not anywhere near the stairs, near me, or near any of the bedrooms upstairs. So, I was in floods of tears at this point. And then I vividly remember hearing a giggle. And I said to my dad, Dad, did you hear that? And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, please tell me you just heard that giggle. And he was like, no, I didn't hear a giggle. And then I was speaking to my dad for about 10 minutes, obviously trying to explain to him what happened. And then, yeah, my dad basically explained to me, obviously, that he feels sometimes as if he has, like, these presents. And he's always said to me, from that day, he obviously could see that I was absolutely petrified. But finish. But he actually said that he basically turned around to me and said, look, there's nothing to be afraid of. If anything, it's probably just your gran, and she's just playing alongside you as a little girl. She's not going to harm you or anything like that. And I think after that day, I heard that giggle once. And I was probably about 11, 12 at the time. And I didn't really think anything of it. But the thing is, the giggle didn't sound like the little girl giggle that I once heard. It sounded as if it was like a teenage giggle, which probably freaked me out a little bit more.
Oh my god.
That is rank.
That's gross.
I need to find a new word, but it just is.
Oh my god.
I feel weird now.
Yeah, but surely that can't be your gran, because your gran would push you down the stairs.
Yeet you down the stairs.
That has to be like something else. That can't, like your gran, who probably was a very loving woman.
Yeah.
And like loved you as a granddaughter, would not push you down the stairs. Oh my god.
That's yeah, that's creepy.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
No.
That's like malicious. Your dad, they won't hurt you.
They won't hurt you.
One's just launched me down the stairs.
You've been yeeted down the stairs, but you're alright, they won't hurt you.
I'd be like, really? In my elbow?
Oh man, that's
That's not a bit of me. Okay, now she's also sent me a couple from her parents. She said these are like stories that her parents have obviously told her. So this is Amber again, but this is her like parents.
So my mum always tells me this story, and basically when she was around about 9 or 10, she was down visiting her auntie, so my great aunt, with my 2 uncles, my grandmother and grandfather. And she said that all of a sudden she was staring at this woman who was at a bus stop, which was right by a church. And my mum was just staring at her for quite a while, and she could notice. And she noticed that the woman was wearing clothing that didn't quite match and everything. She was in quite older looking clothing. And so my mum asked her older brother, the middle sibling, she said, look, can you see that woman over there? And he was like, what woman? What are you going on about? And she was being really persistent with everybody, like, no, seriously, I can see a woman. She's staring at me, like, what's going on? So my mum ended up, like, literally asking every single person, her aunt, her mum and dad, her brothers, everything. And none of them could come up with an answer, but it wasn't until my mum started walking a bit closer because she wanted to sort of investigate a little bit further that she actually noticed that the woman was quite just, I think the best way that she described it to me was that the woman was just white. Her clothes were white, she was very sort of transparent looking, and she said it was very, very weird because she couldn't quite explain how she looked. It's one of those things where it's quite hard to explain how she looks. But yeah, she always remembers that vividly. And the woman waved at her to sort of reassure my mum that I'm guessing that she could obviously see her as well. And so, yeah, mum always says that was quite weird for her at such a young age to experience, and that no one else could see this woman apart from my mum, so.
I love how you get creeped out and I'm like, oh, that's cute. They're just trying to connect, and you're like...
I was just about to say that.
It's quite cute, isn't it? Like, she's like trying to connect with her. That's really lovely.
It's scary though.
Yeah, but you find the idea of ghosts scary.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think... Like, when I've seen something, like a ghost or something a bit weird, I don't go, oh my god. I'm just like, I've just seen a ghost. And, like, that's very much like how I kind of have always viewed it. Because I'm not used to not seeing them. If that makes sense. Like, yeah, so I'm not really... I don't find that. I'm like, oh, that's really cute.
And I'm like, no.
John's like, that's rank.
And then my dad always tells me the story. So as I said, he's lived in the same house now for over 20 years. None of his other relatives have ever lived around the area where my dad currently lives. And he said that one night he was in bed, fast asleep. Neither me or my brother were there because it was midweek and he'd had like a really, really stressful day at work. And he said that all of a sudden he got a whiff of my grandmother's perfume. And he always says that whenever he smells my grandmother's perfume, it's a very distinctive smell and not many people wear it, so he knows and everything when she's kind of near. But then he'll all of a sudden get a waft of cigarette smoke as well. And so my dad knew that she was sort of around, so he kind of woke from his like sleepy state, only to see a male figure leering over him, and my dad said that all he did was yell And when my dad said yell, he means like scream. So yeah, my dad always said that it was like a really, really, really loud yell to the point that it startled him awake, and then he couldn't go back to sleep for the rest of the night.
Oh, what, the man was yelling at him?
Yeah, he was leaning over and yelling at him.
I thought you meant like...
That's horrible.
Yeah, no, I thought she meant like her dad started yelling at him.
No,
like,
no.
Obviously thought it was like a burglar or something.
Oh, that's...
The bloke started yelling.
But then his uncle just stopped screaming, looked at him, and just kept staring at him for a short period of time.
Oh, so it was his uncle?
And then just left the room, like walked out of the room as if nothing had happened. And my dad still to this day has always been freaked out by that moment. Like, it's very, very rare that he'll ever fully talk about it because it just freaks him out too much.
Oh my god.
First of all, how does your dad still live in that house?
Literally, I'd be gone. Actually, I probably wouldn't. No, I would. If I saw something like shouting at me, I would go.
He's a braver man than me because
Well,
I'd be
fact, yeah.
gone. I'd have been gone, like, from the previous stuff.
What, like pushed downstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that.
That,
I don't like that.
I was going to say that, surely that's creeped you out a bit.
That, yeah, that's creeped me out, but that's because it's quite sinister. Like, everything that's kind of happened in that house is quite, like, angry.
Yeah.
Like, that's not, like, like, whereas Brooke,
yeah,
nothing's really, like, posed threat to her. That's quite threatening.
Yeah.
But they are very good stories. They're very scary. So this is, like, what I'm going to read. So it's from Alice. So she said, spooky story alert. Yay, ghost stories. I'm glad I'm not the only one that reacts like this. So when I was in primary school, I was about 7 or 8 years old. It was a normal boring day, and in the middle of class I needed to go to the bathroom. Went to the bathroom alone. I felt quite on edge. For an 8-year-old, this feeling is unusual and makes you feel terrified, feeling nothing but fear. I was washing my hands, and in the reflection of the mirror I saw one... Sorry, the if the camera's moved, it's because I just have to change my battery. Anyway, I was washing my hands and saw in the reflection of the mirror, I saw one of the stall doors, which was not fully closed, so I knew I was alone, slowly creaking open, and I froze. Instant fear, knowing full well that I was alone, and then I heard my name. It whispered my name. How it knew my name is puzzling, but I ran so bloody fast, and I knew not to look back. I was scared to death. I made it to my classroom out of breath and fear-stricken. I tried to forget about it throughout class, but I was truly scared. This is my first experience. I later told my mum, and to calm me down, she said maybe it was your granny checking up on you or saying hello. I knew this was a lie. My granny wouldn't scare me. Even though I've never met her, she wouldn't have done that to me. I was filled with such fear.
Oh, you bitch.
Hello.
Oh. Hello.
Even I jumped then. Hello. Hello.
Jesus.
Coming up. Want to be in the video? Come on then. Sorry about the distraction, we now have the dog. Right,
shit
ready?
Me.
Okay. I was filled with such fear and dread that I asked my mother for holy and Catholic jewellery. I felt I needed to be protected. My school had so much history that it was scary. This would not be my last encounter or experience, however. Not long after, I joined my teacher and another classmate on decorating the hallway with art, while others watched a movie in another classroom. I volunteered to help as I didn't feel like watching it. As I was stood on a chair painting, movement beside me caught my attention. I looked to the opposite wall and saw a shadow walk by with what looked like a cape of sorts. I could only compare this to Dracula and his cape. Terrifying comparison, I know. I froze, I almost screamed. Never in my life did I think I would see a full-on shadow, not in my peripheral, but actually watch it move and disappear. I shiver at the thought of it. And then my teacher came out to help and it was gone. My school was so spooky that I never ever wanted to be alone. It still haunts me. There are many other stories, but these two should do for now, and feel free to use my name. So this was Alice Frawley 24. So if you want to follow her on Instagram, you can do.
Again, that was very creepy.
I didn't like that.
Willow helped.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Thanks,
I
Willow.
cannot wait to see our reaction.
Yeah, literally. Willow decided she wanted to come in and join us, so...
That was a good one, though.
That was a very, very good one.
I know saying that sounds like it's a story. It's not, like...
No,
obviously
but,
it's
like...
an experience, but that is, like...
That's, like... Especially when you are young as well, like, it's something that you don't expect. So, like, why you'd,
like, make it.
Yeah, like, you don't make that up, do you know what I mean? Especially hearing your name.
Yeah.
But I always found primary school toilets creepy.
I was going to say that. And
Really creepy.
my primary school was really old.
Was it?
And pretty sure it was haunted.
Yeah, mine was quite old actually, I think. Okay, so this is the last one. This is from Maisie, and she wrote this one as well. So I will read this one out. So it says, I used to live in this hall and it was very haunted. When I was 6, I would be sitting on my little plastic princess chair playing my DS. Yeah, we love that.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. And I would hear someone saying, hi, 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 repeatedly in different voices. I would get scared and run to my parents. Another night I was laying in bed watching Matilda, cracking film, and as I was watching it and the film had a sudden action, my window shutters came flying open. Oh, that's gross. I got petrified and screamed. At night, my parents would see my brother's toy cars wheeling down the corridor when everyone was sleeping. Let's just say it was a very haunted place.
Ugh.
I don't like that. I don't like that a lot.
Is that the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's there's something about toys moving on their own.
Yeah.
But then I love Toy Story.
Yeah.
But that's like a
You
cartoon.
think you'd love that?
But like it's specifically old fashioned,
like wooden toys. Thing is though, it's because a lot of things are battery powered now.
Yeah.
A lot of things can just like...
You say it's like, oh, the battery's going, it goes on its own.
Yeah, so it could be that.
Yeah.
It could not be that. That's very true, it could not be that. It could be, but like with wooden toys, what is the explanation? That's the difference. I think that's why it's like a bit more scary.
Yeah. Them stories were...
They were scary.
Not experiences.
There's experiences. Like I put spooky, paranormal experiences, scary stories on the Instagram page, so like you could do what you wanted. But that I did not like. That made my bum hole twitch.
They were all very interesting.
Very interesting. I really enjoyed them.
I did, yeah. I appreciate them being sent.
Me too, thank you very much.
Even though they were sent.
If we want us to do another one of these, I'm sure this is something we would do all year round, isn't it?
Yeah, I know we've briefly gone over some of our own, but...
Yeah, maybe if we did like an in-depth of ours.
Yeah.
Maybe, if you want to see that. But that is the end, I think. I think that's the wrap-up. Which one scared you the most? So you had...
The
Brooke's like experiences.
Different parts of them scared me. So
I think Fee's scared me the most. The wailing woman.
That's creepy.
But then I think also being pushed down the stairs then great.
Yeah, and being shouted at by a ghost in your face.
Yeah. That's not my vibe.
The last one, the one about being in the school toilets.
Yeah,
that was
something. Yeah.
What was?
They're just like.
There was one that was really scary. I can't remember what it was.
Brooks, Fees.
Wasn't there one someone said something in a weird voice?
Oh, that one where the girl sat on her DS, Maisie. She was sat on her DS and it was going hi hi hi.
No, it was before that. I think it was your friend from school.
Amber. Oh, the giggle in the teenagers. The teenagers giggle instead of the child's giggle.
The giggling, yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
Not a bit me.
Don't like that.
No. But yeah, if you enjoyed hearing those stories, I'm glad. I enjoyed them too. Did you?
I did, yeah. I'm loving these podcast type videos.
We're having a great time. Again, if there is anything you want us to cover, please leave it down below.
Yeah.
We're happy to do that. We have done 2 now. This will go up the Friday before Halloween. Halloween is on Saturday this year. So I hope you have a great Halloween.
Hope you enjoyed them too.
Yeah,
hope they, in a nice way, creep you out a bit.
Yeah, feel free to send them whenever. We will just say this is a scary story. Please use it in your next one, and we will do that. But yeah, Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you again for another video.
Yeah.
Bye.